Howdy, people. I hope you're hearing me fine. Time for Rauta's monthly stream. This time, the very first time, I'm actually using a new software for the stream. So if it looks different, if it feels different, that's the reason. Now, this time, it's obviously the last normal monthly stream of 2025. So I wish I could say it's something special, but I don't know if it is. I do have, however, a giveaway this time as well. Something that I didn't exactly announce too early, but decided to do. Then I have something interesting, I think, to show for, and obviously questions and answers and beers as always. So if there are technical difficulties, just let me know and let's fix them. But let's see how this happens. I am a little bit late to the party. I tried to start very beginning 1 a.m. but I was driving home from a movie night with my friends, so it was a little bit tight schedule, and then picking some stuff here which I want to show. So by no means shoot the questions, and if you want to make sure that you are getting answered and all, tag my name at Rauta, and I'll try to get to you with the answers I can get. However, first you must witness me having my protein quark. Some people might be calling it protein yogurt, because I need my protein dose. I'm already a little bit getting hungry here because I had my dinner around 6 and it's many hours ago. So here we are, eating a little bit before we start. And okay, it's already giving me some kind of a warning here. Let me see what this is saying. Okay. It is saying something about bitrate too slow and all. But we'll try to figure it out. So how are you doing? Welcome Freedom Frog, J Killers, Northbound, Tia. Well, everybody. Good to hear, Northbound, that the sound is fine. This is supposed to be better than the normal streams which I do, you know, with the just YouTube page. So this is supposed to be a little bit better. How are you doing, people? So, all good. Hello, Daniel. All right, pretty much snack done. You have to witness me eating. I feel sorry for you people. I really do. So, this time there is actually a topic that is not me eating. But first, we'll need some beer. And this time I'm having Mallasepat beers, again, obviously. And this one is Leka Extra IPA. And the hops are Centennial, Simcoe, Citra. International bitterness units saying 40. And this is 6.8 strong. And IBU 40 means it's somewhat bitter, but not super bitter. Meaning it's roughly the kind of a very drinkable IPA, even for those who are not really that much into IPAs. You don't have to be experienced beer drinker to get into this. And man, I gotta tell you, I've been hoping for the whole day to drink some beers. I'm not gonna deny, I've been a little bit annoyed recently with some people. This is how it looks. Fine. Very orange, brown. Very fresh and citrus smelling. Oh goodness, how good it is. So I've been annoyed by people. Some kind of a misanthropia has been seeping in I'm gonna write a message to my friend at Mallas about providing me the beer so he knows what I'm doing here. What is the time? Let me see what's the time. Okay, all good. This is not really showing how much the stream has been going on. All right. To answer your questions, Vulturium, yes, I know the band. What about it? And yeah, I was just coming from movie night with my friends. We watched Warframe movie, and it was a good one. Quite semi documentary like of a movie, really. Very brutal and definitely worth watching if you like war movies in general. Can't say it was that action oriented, but very dramatic. So definitely worth watching, but a very slow paced war movie too. Hello, Natred. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Cowboy. As always, if you want to support the channel, you know what to do. You can go either for super chat through Google. You can use Rauta's PayPal, directly donate. You can use buy me a coffee link, or you can become a Patreon supporter. But by no means donation, as you know, is not mandatory. It's totally optional. It's just if you have a free coin or two and you want to support the channel thing going on, meaning more interviews and stuff, the donations won't affect how many reviews or streams I'm gonna do. It's just to support the interview thing. So if you want to support that, put some coins in and do your thing, but 100% volunteer, obviously. I'm trying to read your comments. Please, someone tag me so I see how the tagging works with the software I'm using, because it's the first time for me streaming with this particular one. I wanna see how it goes. Daniel had a blast with Messe de Morts in Montreal. That's great. It's a festival I definitely want to visit someday if I can. And yeah, it would be great to be there. I'm sure that I would really enjoy the festival, but it's in Montreal, so I don't know. So someone please tag me here on the chat, so I see how it works. Thank you so much, Freedom Frog, for the tagging very much. Okay, this has some nice features when it comes to this kind of a notification. It's clearly better than previously. Thank you so much, Freedom Frog, for your donation. What else? What I was gonna say, I kind of lost my mind here in the middle. Yeah, Markus has some nice list of labels where to get albums from. So when you have a question that you want to make sure that I'm going to answer, just tag me before. Oh, thank you, Natred. I'm using OBS for this particular stream. It's the first time. Usually I've been just very lazy. I've been postponing using this one because I've been just using the browser, YouTube streaming tool, which is not exactly very good, but it does its job. And I don't really want to make these things too complicated. It's not like I'm tech savvy. I guess I'm a little bit lazy learning new tricks when I don't have to. So I decided to start using OBS for streaming as well, because this is the software I use for filming Rauta's videos. So I decided to see how it goes, because this way I could, I don't know, I'm gonna put something in the backdrop. Let's say, okay, like the Vulturium. Now I typed it wrong. Okay, I'm gonna see if this works actually. Can you see this Vulturium page right now? I hope you can, because I'm just testing how this works. But if I go back, you know, this should do the job. Pseudogod, the band. I remember the name, but I don't remember was the music good or not. What is the net rate? What is the thing with super chat chargebacks? Never heard about them. All right, people. So I wanted to show some good stuff I've gotten for review lately. I'll start with the headphones. God damn it. So don't know if you saw already the review, but either way I'm gonna show you these babies to you because they are so good. I've been using them a lot at gym lately. So I got these Valco Megadeth headphones, voice cancelling ones, recently, and my review video came out, was it like a week ago or whatever, and these have been brilliant, maybe 2 weeks ago already. Now, I had a lot of testing with these at the gym, on a plane, everyday things basically, and these turned out to be really good ones. So I'm happy to say, among the first gear gadgets I got to test, these were already brilliant, and it seems the label, the manufacturer of these Megadeth headphones really liked it, so they already sent me a new package. Now I'm not gonna unbox it on this video, I'm gonna save it for later use, but I know that within this package there is supposed to be 2 sets of items, some other headphones and some earbuds if I'm not mistaken, and last time they included some chocolate and whatnot, so who knows. But I will save opening this box for the actual unboxing / review video, which I will do later on, most likely coming out in January, as the whole calendar is already full of videos for this month, the rest of the year. And what else? Bruno's picture says backdrop works. Thank you for letting me know. It's good to know, because this software use I'm now doing, I can actually show you things that wouldn't be really possible, you know, with the normal stuff I use. So I hope this will be going nicely, and this should mean that I get to do a little bit better streams these days than before. Freedom Frog, which band did you mean by mispronouncing? Let me know. Not really. So what does it mean they get these chargebacks? What happens then? After listening to Jerry's lyrics, trolling him would be crazy. Yeah, I guess so. Next interview, should be Nocturnal Depression next week. Divisor interview just got out yesterday, so Nocturnal Depression is the next one. Oh yeah, Natred, glad to hear that you got to see the Paul Ledden interview. Well, we're talking about this giant phallus, the big red one on the background, in the background, and I asked if he was okay with it because it would kind of a fit, Paul Ledney style with the given band, and he was totally like, hey, yeah, let's do it. So if it was distracting, good. It wasn't distracting us for sure. Oh yeah, Freedom Frog. I mean, obviously, I don't know what is the proper way to say Vulturium because, it's not really a Finnish word. But I say it in a Finnish way because it's a Finnish band, so Vulturium. But who knows? Maybe I'm pronouncing it totally wrong. Oh man, Natred, that sounds bad if they own YouTube. The money. Well, that's kind of a sucks. Alright, so I'm gonna show you some other cool stuff I've been getting for review because I think you might be interested in. At the moment, as you can see, some 20% done or so. I am reading this new Moon Sorrow book by Grillo do Demo, and this is called Home of the Waves, Conversations with Moon Sorrow. This is a Cult Never Dies book, which goes into the world of Moon Sorrow. Originally, these guys meant to do Moon Sorrow documentary about the band, history, whatever. But because of various problems, which I will detail more in the actual book review, the documentary never finished. Maybe someday it will. So this is basically the book based on those interviews in doing the documentary. Worthy read based on 70 pages so far I've been reading. This is about 350 pages. Not too many photos or anything. Just, just book. You know how it is. There are some photos, obviously, in the middle of the book. So probably something very interesting, those who like Moon Sorrow. Another worthy reading, which I started recently. This will be after the Moon Sorrow book. I have barely touched first few pages. Is this Imhotep number 13. As the cover says, The Aftermath. Once again, much like the issue number 12, which I reviewed earlier this year, this is almost like book size, meaning it's more than 120 pages. The big ones, the big lengthy pages with some photos and whatnot. And as you might have seen, featuring Djevel, Isan, Heilung, Slagmaur, Akantras, something I have currently for review. The photographer Necros Horns, Cradle of Filth, very new one from this fall, just before the drama, Blood Incantation, the Sinister Initiative label, and more. More including 10 years ago, an interview done 10 years ago with the Burzum, like they say in Norway. If you've been seeing what I've been telling you about the previous Imhotep zines, this is quality work. I actually had to talk with Roy Christiansen, the boss of this zine, the main maker of the zine, last August at Beyond the Gates. Very experienced and nice, pleasant character. We had conversation about his past and present about Imhotep, and I'm really happy that he's back making the zines in more frequent ways and making the big, like I mentioned, 120 pages, but because the page size is really, this big, you can imagine if you compare it to, say, traditional book, you can pretty much figure it out. This is kind of like twice amount of text compared to normal book here. So if this is some 350 pages with this size and this is some 120 plus pages, we're roughly talking, I guess, something like 250 pages if this was around this size. So reading as much reading as in a book. Then a Finnish book which I recently finished just before starting this Moonsorrow book. This is in Finnish, but there will be an English edition about it. This is called Maiden Ventures, Rautaisen fanituksen polulla, which can be seen on the path of very iron level fandom. Obviously, this name refers to Iron Maiden. So this is not a book about the band, but being a fan of the band so that you will travel around the world just after the band, much like those Niflheim brothers, which are actually mentioned here. This is about this guy, Johanna Koli. He's pictured here. And it's about his and his friends, trips around the world, like going to Japan, Australia, South America, things like that, just because they want to see more and more Iron Maiden. There's one guy mentioned in this book who has seen Iron Maiden more than 250 times. More than 250 times, just one fucking band. So this is about that. Very, very lighthearted book. It's almost like you're reading some kind of a travel blog or fan blog about a given band. And these guys are telling stories, how they have been drinking, how have they been doing sightseeing, and of course meeting the band over the years and all that stuff. Like I mentioned, this book is in Finnish, but there will be English edition most likely very early 2026. So I'm trying to get this review done by January. So then I should have more information about when the English version is coming out. It's a entertaining book, even if not that profane. What else? Yeah, there's always more. Also, what I recently got for review is, or more like a gift, but I'm gonna review it nonetheless, is this Van Lasse Veri. I think it's referring to kind of like Russian blood. As you can see, there's a Estonian flag and Ukraine flag, and this is done by my friend Jordan, who runs this business called Satanic Hot Sauce. He has previously done his own hot sauces with bands like Possessed, some collaboration with Horna or inspired by Horna, and other bands. He already gave me very first bottles in like 4 years ago at Steelfest, where we just drank the whole bottle at a festival. But this is not alcohol, obviously, so it's not meant to be drunk. It's meant to season your food. After all, it's hot sauce, so Tex-Mex, whatever. Review will obviously follow with this one as well, once I have done some time using it with cooking and all that stuff. Then finally, the last of the items, which I haven't even unboxed yet, but I will do it here, is another book. If you can guess it, you will be a champion, but I don't think you will. So let's see what we have inside the box. Well, to be honest, I didn't expect this one. I was expecting a book, but here you have Necromantia in Honor CD. Then some stuff. Okay, let's try to do it so that you get to see what's inside. I think this is meant like a bookmark, which I will definitely put into use. There is this Baron Blood sticker. And another bookmark, always very handy. And then a postcard, the serpent and the pentagram, signed by Mr. Magus. As you can see, hand numbered. Very cool. Then some kind of a poster, as you can see. And of course the main item in the box. The Serpent and the Pentagram, the official chronicles of Necromantia, written by the Magus and Ari Shock. And it seems even more is underneath the book. And you have here Necromantia 7-inch stuff, the Feast of Ghouls. And here is the backside. To be honest, I didn't expect this at all when I got it when I was visiting Greece and doing this interview with Magus. Now I will pack this stuff as nicely as I can during the stream here, and maybe I will do another set of unboxing for the review purposes. So once I'm done with those other two books, I will be obviously reading this, the Magus or Necromantia book, and then I will do a review of that as well. So as you can see, plenty of nice items apart from your CDs and vinyl, the musical ones for review. So yeah, time to really get that sweat out of the forehead. Really, really good and cool stuff if you ask me. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna scroll back a little bit and see about your comments. Nobody tagged me, so I can pretty much skip your comments. Just joking, I tried to see if you ask me something, but please always tag me if you wanna make sure that I will answer your questions. Because it's easy to miss a lot of these comments when you're just talking to one another and all that stuff. Alright, I'm quickly going through. Hello, Gerard from Chile. Nice to have you here. Vargian, I don't know the cost of Moon Sorrow book, but I will find it for the review. Hello, Macabre. Yeah, nobody has so far notified me about this Moon Sorrow book. You can probably already Google it, but I will find it out for the review. Yeah, talking to Kai Ignondito, it's really good that there are these zines still happening, and Imhotep is definitely one of the finest. Naturally has a good question. 250 shows, that's true dedication or obsession. Hard to say for sure. For them, it's lifestyle. Oh yeah, talking about the giveaway. I promised to do a giveaway. It's a CD. I will show it to you a little bit later. I will quickly go through these comments and then I will do the giveaway in a bit. Yeah, and hot sauce is definitely good stuff. I really, really like. Naturally has a good comment. How many donors to jug the bottle? Hey, if you can donate, let's say, no, I'm not gonna jug the whole bottle. I'm gonna make the review. I'm not gonna whore myself. That. And J-Killers, I'm not really reading much. I'm quite slow reader, so that in that sense, I don't even like to review books and zines, but it is what it is, and obviously I'm gonna try to do my best to get that stuff sorted. I mean, obviously it's really fun to review beyond CDs and vinyl. And I wanted to show you these items because I think it's my way to say thank you to those who actually, sent the items. So now you know what else there is to be expected in January. How you even play those 7-inch records? Easily when you have a vinyl player. It's not that hard. Evan Williams is from South Mississippi. Now that's a river I definitely would like to see with my own eyes. Very, very nice that we have some Mississippi people. Uh, now there's a funny question coming from Sir Damien Frost. Ever drink Finnish single malt whiskey? Now, obviously, I have done, enjoyed Finnish single malt whiskey. Actually, I could show you because now I can actually show you the screen. Uh, I will show you that good Finnish whiskey, what I'm talking about. Let me see where they are in this. All right, here. So, this is, by the way, in Finnish. I'm gonna put in English page. All right, prepare for some whiskey thingy. So here we have Teerenpeli. It's a brewery and distillery, and they also have their own bars. Now, what I'm showing you here on their whiskey side is, well, their whiskeys. If you go down this side, you will see a various styles of whiskey. Some of them have quite Finnish names like Kaski, Kulo, Länki, so forth. And there they have this selection. They are actually awarded ones. I mean, some of their whiskey really got nice recognition in some of the stuff. If I remember correctly, it was this Kaski whiskey which I got for a birthday present a few years ago from my good friends at a gaming night. I am pretty sure it was this Kaski, but not 100% sure because it was, I think, almost 10 years ago now. But showing they have these simple but stylistic bottles, and they have nice taste. I mean, the bottle I had some nice taste, so they are actually quite respected brand in Finland. But there are not many places in Finland, not many distilleries who do their own whiskey. But if you want to taste something good, I would say this is the kind of stuff you want to do. I will give the link here in case you want to see it. So definitely worth tasting. Nice to hear, Vargian, that the Necromantia book is so nicely written. Guy Ignognido is asking a good question. How do I feel about AI as a tool in music? Now, when it comes to composing music, I absolutely loathe the idea of using AI. When it comes to, say, tool like mastering recordings, I mean, why not? You can do that boring stuff with AI. I'm not sure about mixing though. I wouldn't let AI do it. I think it's something that you need to do by your ear, put your skill and heart into it. But for more mundane and boring tasks, AI can be useful. I'm not gonna say that. But when it comes to creating something, well, AI doesn't create anything. It's generating based on other stuff. So I would not definitely generate lyrics or music using AI. AI is cool for, say, proofreading. AI is cool for translating. These are very, very mundane tasks which don't really have anything like creativity when it comes to, doing that. So AI is good for like taking the trash out. AI is good for letting your robot vacuum cleaner do the job, clean the fucking room. Maybe AI could be good for, brewing coffee, but AI is not creating anything. That's something that people need to understand. Paganistic is asking thoughts on Peste Noir. I cannot say. So far, I haven't really enjoyed their music. Their live was boring as fuck. It was actually quite crappy. So, never been into checking out too much Peste Noir. Rotten Punks is hailing from Arizona. Nice to have some Arizona people here. And since Jay Killers tagged me, he was asking how I tasted Hyvinkää beers. I don't know if Hyvinkää has their own beers, so please let me know what kind of beers they do have. What else? Morgan was asking how was your time here in Greece though? Did you try gyros? I had many gyros when I was in Greece. Now I really liked Greek food. The people are awesome. The weather was nice. The atmosphere in Athens, I really could have lived there. I don't you know, I'm not gonna deny that. I really liked my time in Athens and I wish to be back there. In fact, we were talking about if it would be possible for Nightside to play in Greece, and that would be really, really fucking something. I really liked basically everything in Greece, except leaving the country, of course. That was boring. Hello, Yula with randomness. Or is it Yee? No, well, anyway, how it's hanging nicely. Thank you. I'm not gonna show my hanging piece of flesh between my legs, but it's hanging still. Mind you, if some ladies were around, it would be bigger. Okay, let's not go into the dirty joke territory, but anyway. Um, Tia was saying recommendations for Terepeli from my hometown. Very good quality drinks, good whiskeys, gins and beers. I'm not a big fan of Terepeli's beers though. I must say they are pretty basic. But well, yeah, like I said, the whiskey is good, and I mean they have atmospheric bars. So yeah. And Dawes thinks his mastering is his favorite part of production. Well, I've never done mastering, so I can't say, but it's not something that I'd rather do. I would pay for someone to master the recording. Yeah, AI copies. That's how generating things work. How is that Greek food gives you headache, Natred? You wanna expand on that? Prunus, yeah, exactly. AI is good for stupid errands. Yeah, Greece, so great place with all the history and all. Okay, J Killers, I can't say I have been tasting Hyvinka beers, their own brewery and all. Um, yeah. Damien First is asking, you have done game streaming Arc Raiders playthrough? I haven't tested Arc Raiders. Unfortunately, my gaming hours are very, very limited due to being a working man, a family man, and band guy, and all that stuff. So I wish I could play more and stream more, but unfortunately, I am running out of hours. Gaming streaming is something that I actually wanted to talk about on this given stream because, as people have lately noticed, I've been doing more gaming streams, and they're not just meant for gamers. They are meant for people who wanna talk to me about whatever. Usually we talk metal on gaming streams too. So they are pretty much made for questions and chatting as much as this stream. Now, obviously, when I'm doing these kind of monthly streams with the picture and all, I get to focus just on talking and answering your questions and all. But with the gaming streams, I am kind of divided between gaming and talking to you guys. But it's definitely not just about gaming. As those who have witnessed my gaming streams, say regular visitors like Freedom Frog or J Killers or Marcus knows, I think everybody is present on this chat. They do know that while I do game, I'm obviously always talking about festivals, bands, new albums, and all kind of ideas. So if you people feel like, hey, I don't want to check out the gaming stream because I'm not a gamer myself, forget about it. You don't even have to watch the stream. You can just, feed me questions and comments, and then I will reply to you and all that stuff. So yeah, those streams are definitely worth for everybody, and you can just join the stuff. So what else? Oh yeah, it's worth mentioning now that Herdöd said that well, Finnish Independence Day was on 6th of December, which I think is still true in some parts of the world, like United States, I guess. But yeah, happy Independence Day to Finland, 6th of December. Mm. Vargian was asking, speaking of Greek things, have you listened to the new Zarathus, Those Who Dwell Beyond? Let me see. Um, Recently got some vinyl for review too. So here is the vinyl. Since you were asking about Zarathus, here we have the new album by Zarathus. I have this both on vinyl and CD through Van Records. So this will be coming to review, I think, in January, because December is full already. So nope, haven't heard it yet, but we'll listen to it following days. All right, what else you have in your mind? Oh, okay, Jaculars, that's interesting what you're saying about Hyvinkää's, parts of the city. Okay, I gotta taste them at some point, maybe at next Steelfest or whatever. And thank you, Freedom Frog. I'm happy to hear that you're liking the gaming streams. I actually like that when you're there, you will always ask some interesting questions and all. Yeah, Jaculars, yeah, definitely gotta check out those Hyvinkää beers. Tunturikettu was asking, you only play console games? Well, I prefer to play on the console because, well, here it is. I have this nice OLED TV, LG 55-inch television screen, and of course my amplifiers and proper speakers versus this crappy small screen and sorry ass speakers. Obviously, speakers I can replace with my gaming headphones, but really, because this is the computer I work with, doing not just day job and Rauta. When I feel I'm like taking the time off, I sit on my recliner, sit back, stare at the big screen rather than the small one. But I have promised to stream some gaming on my computer as well, but that is when I have finished Assassin's Creed Shadows. So maybe PC stream coming later on with gaming, but at the moment I am focusing on Assassin's Creed Shadows, so PlayStation 5 it is, and maybe Xbox later on. Chris Lopez is asking, do you have any good death metal in Finland? We have plenty. Nowadays, it seems like Finnish death metal scene is actually, I don't know how to put it, what's the right word, but it's more active these days than before. There are plenty of good bands popping up, some even with teenagers in the game. And then we have those older ones like my favorite, Torture Killer and Morbid Vomit, some of the best ones from Finland. Then obviously the old school Finnish death metal scene is still there, even though a lot of bands are not active. I mean, Amorphis hasn't been playing death metal for more than 30 years now, not to mention Sentenced. But there are death metal bands from the 90s still. Some of them might not just be active anymore. But modern death metal scene is, it's growing all the time. There are these underground bands that are coming out with their first albums and so forth. So definitely there are some good names in Finnish death metal, both old days and the new days. Not really saying get a bigger monitor. Yeah, I should get a more expensive car. I should get bigger monitor, more expensive and more powerful PC. Maybe some, blonde model babes too. Yeah, just missing the money. Yeah, but again, that's great. Stefan von Varathon and other stuff. Yeah, very interested in that. Yeah, this recliner I have here is very, very comfortable. That is my trusted companion when I'm gaming. Actually, it's so comfortable that sometimes I end up sleeping on it when I'm like gaming and, I start feeling a little bit. And then I just, you know, so there is that. Now, I'm not gonna play Skyrim again. I finished that game something like almost 15 years ago. Not that many years, but whatever, 13 years ago. And to be honest, I don't want to go back to Skyrim. It wasn't that great of a game. Maybe it's greatest thing on ever for those who never played World of Warcraft, but compared to World of Warcraft, Skyrim felt a little bit unfinished. And yeah, Dolus and Bible Black, indeed, some kids have now gotten into death metal, which is refreshing after so many kids got into just black metal and that's it. And then they were copying basically Finnish black metal bands like, Hornasar guys, Satanic Warmaster stuff. So it was kind of getting a little bit boring. Now, even Williams was actually now listing some of these new school Finnish death metal act like Morbific, Gorophilia, and they are the new school. And then there are these bands which are not exactly new nor old, but somewhere in the middle, like Sepulchre Curse from my home city. That's a decent band for sure. So there are always death metal bands coming and going from Finland. Band Cold Conjuring. Okay, I don't know that one. Yeah, it's a shame that Sotajumala quit. Sotajumala was definitely one of the better ones from Finnish death metal scene. Yeah, Freedom Frog, it's crazy how many metal bands there are from Finland, given that we are less than 6 million people. So it's great. Well, yeah, someone mentioned Indian food. I fucking love Indian food. That actually some one of my favorite things when it comes to eating. Indian foods, Tex-Mex or Mexican food. Fucking love that stuff. Well, and pizzas and hamburgers. So while I like Greek food, yeah, I would say I would rate Indian food and Tex-Mex or that. So Indian food is definitely one of my favorites. They do spicy stuff very good. And Freedom Frog is right with me on the same page that getting the blonde model babes. If I got more money, I would definitely spend that on babes, not PC monitor. Hey, about the giveaway. Now, this might be a very, very easy question for some of you. And if so, good luck with that. And if it's going to be a hard one, then you have to dig for it. Now, the only downside with today's giveaway, I unfortunately cannot give this CD to American people because, simply said, we cannot post anything to USA for the time being. This is not my choice, it's just that we are unable. I don't know if it's about US regulations or whatever, but if some US person wins, I gotta give something digital. I simply cannot post you anything, or then I need to give you the giveaway thing hand to hand. So I'm sorry, but this is how it goes. So if an American person ends up winning this giveaway, then you just have to wait. Come to Steelfest and I'll gladly give you this right to your hand. Now the giveaway CD today is the Magus CD, which is right here. And the thing is, I was supposed to do this giveaway with the interview, but the funny thing is I forgot it. However, since I got this extra CD from Magus himself, I decided to use it giveaway right now. And the thing is, I've already reviewed this, so I don't need have a new copy of this because I've already done reviewing. So here it is, a giveaway. Now, no, naturally, it's not about European Union favoritism. It's just that I cannot mail anything to USA. So, like I said, if some American people ends up winning this, then they have to wait. I actually have one previous giveaway which I haven't been able to send, and this was like 2 months ago, because it's not possible to mail anything to USA unless it's some official papers. It just won't send. I also have a package of CD sent to be one of the, Rauta supporters on Patreon site, and I cannot send it. I already have the stamps on the fucking CD parcel. I mean, it's right here, with the stamps and everything. But I cannot send it because they won't mail it. So it fucking sucks. I know it's not your fault, it's Trump's fault. Rutger is asking, am I drunk? Hey, this is my first beer since I got home, so not. I hope to be drunk by the end of evening. Anyway, talking about this giveaway thing, while I will answer questions, you need to figure out the answer to my question to win the giveaway. And here's the trick. First of all, I will do the giveaway when I have finished my beers, but you can already prepare something Magus related. So prepare to be answering the question when I have finished my beer. And while I'm waiting for your replies, I will get a new beer. Alright, so after we've discussed the blonde babes, what else? And yeah, Chris Lopez, our black metal scene and death metal scene is just doing fine. My thoughts on Grand Belialski is that never actually liked the band too much, but haven't been listening to them for so long, so I guess I need to revisit their music at some point later on. Yeah, Jay Killers, I indeed played Skyrim almost 15 years ago. And yeah, Jeremy was mentioning here that I should try Elden Ring again. I am planning to continue it on Xbox, and I recently set up my Xbox so that I could use Lightstream to stream the material on Rauta's YouTube instead of Twitch. We'll see how it goes once I get back to playing that game. But I want to finish Assassin's Creed Shadows first. And yeah, talking of Dead Chain, I'm happy that they are back and active doing gigs again and hopefully new music as well. Space Marine 2, I already played through the game a year ago. It's really good. And when somebody was asking if I prefer Grand Belialski or Arcos Land, I really don't prefer neither of them. I remember the early Arcos Land was just boring mellow death to me. And Freedom Frog, yeah, well, when he went to this World of Warcraft is better than Skyrim, the thing here is World of Warcraft has so much more content than Skyrim, and because Skyrim's main plot was very fucking boring. So yeah, and Skyrim had its moment. It's a good game, but not as great as World of Warcraft. My thoughts on Circle of Dawn. I have reviewed a couple of their CDs. I think they have a lot of potential, but not there yet. Not too great at the moment. Hmm. Wargian, so where are you coming from since you mentioned that you don't have many black metal bands right there? Black Winds of Desecration, moi Jerry, löin sua hartialle joskus Steelfestissä, olit mukava, kehut mun hauiksi ja yeah, well, that's a good memory. What I think about band called Baphomansia, I have never ever heard of it. Interesting. And yes, Rytkösen Jussi, the very same Magus as from Necromantia. The Magus is his current band. This is a band that I've reviewed this particular album already when it came out. Was it like 2 years ago? What you mean how to pronounce this name? Well, I cannot read it, so I don't know how to pronounce it. But I will take a look at the list how it was mentioned. I think I have it in my list. Give me a second. Sorry, I still have it in Cyrillic letters. Here is my review when it came out in 2023. Hold on. Here it is. This is the review video. But about the name. This is supposed to Visodomontas. Did I get it close? Visodomontas. That the Magus album, I mean. Someone was asking, what are your thoughts on Gorgoroth's Pentagram album? It's a great album. Who will be Arch Enemy's vocalist? It will be me, featuring more blue hair, but not vegan this time, and will be more powerful than, those women ever were in Arch Enemy. I will do more nice vocals, yeah! You know what I promised when I was finishing my beer? Not sing you to some Arch Enemy thingies, but do the giveaway question, which is related to Magus himself. What discipline or martial arts or sports is the man teaching? I'm gonna repeat the question. Which martial art or discipline the Magus is teaching? This will be something that you can Google, or if you already saw my Necromantia interview, you should know the answer. And this time I will have 3 first people to answer the question, and that will be randomized. So this is not as speedy contest with this giveaway as usual. I will just give the giveaway CD to the very first one who gets to review, answer the question. I'm seeing if I have my dice here. I'm gonna roll the dice. But no, so you will have to trust me. I think I actually have some dice here. Let me see. I got this pouch from... Yeah, I do have some pouch. Wow. Some Las Vegas dice here. So, give me your answers. Unless the stream died suddenly because nobody's talking anything. One answer is so far correct. So far, one of the answers is correct in the list you did. There was a little bit of lag in getting the answers out. So one answer is so far correct, and only one is correct. So this is very specific. So I'm gonna get another beer. I'm waiting for more you to answer. And if you cannot figure out who is the correct one, you have to do a little bit of searching. I will be back in a minute. I'm your turbo lover. Now we have at least 2 correct answers. Yes, we have 3 correct answers. And this means I really need to do the randomizing. Now when I said I'm gonna randomize 3 correct answers, that it is. But I didn't include the original fencing one because it's actually historical fencing, not any kind of fencing. So when I said only one answer was correct, in the beginning I was referring to Dawes when he mentioned historical/traditional sword fighting. That's the correct one. But now Vargian was, specifying that he means that was in the review video. It's actually historical fencing, not just fencing, but historical fencing. And there was one other one who mentioned Christopher mentioned he's a fencing instructor. So, as I mentioned, now let's roll the dice. These dice are from Las Vegas, brought to me by my friend Chris Carr, who does the thumbnails for Rauta. So let's go for randomizing. Now, if it's number 1 or 2, it will go to Vargian. If it's number 3 or 4, it will go to Dawes. And if it's gonna be 5 or 6, it's gonna be for Christopher. Now let's take the dice and let it fall, and this will define the winner. There it is, number 5. So what did I just say? Christopher is the winner of this Magus CD. Very weird way to do the randomizing effects. Let's put these dice back into this Las Vegas box. But now you know I'm not cheating here. I was promising you a very, very randomized stuff because I wanted to give more people a chance. So indeed, Magus is a fencing instructor, but in historical, fencing. So Christopher, send me mail. I will write it right here. There is my email. Just send me your email and I will send your CD next week. So, there it is. Well, there will be more giveaways coming, not just this stream though. I have already at least this pile of CDs for various giveaway things. So, hopefully more giveaways will be happening. I mean, they will, but when? Let's talk about it after I have opened my next beer and gone through the list of questions and comments since my link to the Magus review. So Vargian is from Crete. Very, very nice. I didn't know that those bands are from there. All right, let's move on. But now, back to this Mallasebat glass. You have a Mallasebat glass. All right, let's go for Cirrus Savant Napa New England IPA or India Pale Ale. Hello, I'm a tortoise. I will bring you beer. Thank you, Mr. Tortoise. Let's put this 6-person strong Napa right into my glass, and here it is. As you can see, the previous beer was quite bronze-like in terms of color, very brown orange like, and this is more like golden, maybe pale yellow of sorts. Let this foam go down in a bit and I will then enjoy. Naturally saying, I swear it feels like Jerry is on vacation more than I am work. Now, really, I do not have a lot of vacation. I don't know where you get that idea, Naturally, that I'm so much on vacation. I'm not really that much on vacation, really, because, just have to work. Yeah, sorry, Vargian, glad to hear I was quite close with the pronunciation. Accent is weird. Obviously, it's accent weird. I cannot really speak Greek. Jigulars, I do like Terrain Black Harmony album. I just recently reviewed the album, the vinyl version of Black Harmony. And Jerry Narch Enemy with Blue Hair will be incredible improvement. I totally agree, right? I'm not as good as looking as Alyssa. I don't have her sexy face, body, voice, whatever, but hey, I think I can be less aggressive than the madame, and I'm not vegan if it helps. Plus, I'm stronger. Cooler too. Alright, so you people made some good guesses with the Magus one. Some people mentioned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Krav Maga and all that stuff. Very good guesses, but if you had seen the Magus interview, you would have known right from the beginning that it was historical fencing because we were talking about it in the interview. So do your job and you have good luck winning in the coming giveaways. Now, H41 Bo was asking where the pub is located and how it was called. There you did the divisor interview. I'm gonna show you the Greek bar. Let me show you. The name is quite funny if you think about it. It's called Esqueleto, referring to skeleton. I will put it on the screen so you can see their Facebook page. This Esqueleto coffee bar was something of a metal bar. I wanted to show you in the video. So here it says Rock and Metal Cafe Bar. So let's see what they have here in their. Hey, see, they have actually shared this interview of mine, which we did at this bar. I hope you saw it in the interview video. So they actually shared it. Esqueleto Cafe Bar. So very, very nice. So there's some other stuff as well. Cool. So they don't have many pictures about the given bar on their pages, but as you can see, skeletons and skulls are very, very much dominating the theme with their bar. But it's definitely good. So if you want to check it out on Facebook, it's called Esqueleto Cafe Bar. So a nice metal bar for sure. Naturally was saying, while you were out partying and getting laid, I studied historical fencing. I wish I was getting laid that much, but unfortunately, not getting laid much. Boring part in my life. So that's why I drink. I would definitely drink less if I had been getting laid more, but hey, can't win in the lottery called life. What else? Krav Maga dude, how is your grappling skills? I'm better in grappling than doing Krav Maga. Was Christopher from Finland? What are you talking about? I don't think Christopher is from Finland. Besides Natred, the previous winner was exactly from United States, and that's why I have this CD waiting for him. So, piss off with your conspiracy theories. Black Wings is asking first favorite first wave band. Now it's obviously Bathory. Most simple question ever. Yeah, Neighbors are pretty good. The Life Lover interview is coming out in about 3 weeks. Divisor game this week. Next one is Nocturnal Depression. Then it's Sad, and then it's Life Lover. So checking out on my calendar, Life Lover should be out just before the end of the year, 26th of December. And if you don't know, Natred is, joking. He's actually a good guy, cool guy. So don't take him so seriously. Thorn G Warriors, Thumb G Warriors asking any nightside gigs in the works. I can only announce one gig, which is happening, and it's Nordic Metal Cruise. I will show it to you. Nordic Metal Cruise 2026. So, yeah, let's see here, people. Nordic Metal Cruise is taking place on 7th and 8th of February 2026 with Swallow the Sun and Imbel Nazarene headlining it. Then Nightside, Rotten Sound, Balance Breach, and Stereo Terror DJs as the warm-up ones. So you can actually see, hey, do you know this guy in the picture with the mic? Yeah, this motherfucker. You might know him from some part. This bald guy with horrible corpse paint, but big ass chains. Yeah, so we are playing at Nordic Metal Cruise, which I really like. You probably, if you're a long time Rauta follower, you already know that I like these Nordic Metal Cruises as events. They're great places to see bands, drink beer, meet friends, go tax-free shopping. And now we are performing there, so I'm really happy about it. And of course, it will be great to warm up for Imbel Nazarene. I mean, we've already warmed up back in the days for bands like Baratrum and Thai Serpent and Archgoat. So pretty much the old school Finnish black metal. And now we get to do that with Imbel Nazarene. So after this one, the only one to warm up for in terms of old school Finnish black metal is now Beherit. I hope we can make it happen eventually. Then there is another nightside gig, but I cannot announce it just yet. I can announce it when this Nordic Metal Cruise is happening, and hopefully there will be more gigs for 2026. I really hope we can take nightside outside of Finland. Why? Well, who the fuck wants to play to the same audience over and over and over again? Obviously, I want to go outside Finland to take Darkness with us to other parts of the world and show that we are not bunch of pussies playing black metal. And people can challenge me about it, but I think we will play a good show wherever we go. And thank you, Christopher. I will check your email. Yes, here you are. So it goes Austria. Very nice. Thank you, Christopher. Nice to have your email right here. All right. Let's get back to the questions. Nights at Gig in Austria, new Annihilators material. Well, I can tell you this much. We'd love to play in Austria. I hope someday we will be invited to play somewhere in Austria. That would be very, very cool because I never visited Alps or countries around the Alps, including Switzerland. So that would be very, very cool if we can do it. A new Annihilators material. Well, I can tell you this much. The third album of Annihilators is about 99% ready. There's some finishing touches with the mastering. I think there are some samples missing. I don't know, maybe my bandmate already put them in place. We just discussed about the new album earlier this week. So, yeah, I think the new Annihilators album should be out in 2026. Early, I hope. I was actually hoping it would be out this year already. The new Annihilators album is either going to be our worst or the best. Why I say that is that it's a little bit different than the previous ones. I'm not even sure myself whether it's going to be our worst or best, but it's different. I mean, it's still black metal, it's very simple. Maybe in a way it's kind of a barbaric as well, but yeah, it's a little bit different. But worry not, it's filled with lyrics that some people can be, what? Why do you write this shit? And I'm like, because I am the shit. I'm this misanthropic motherfucker. I don't like you, a lot of people. I'm not an occultist. I will just waving my finger, middle finger. So it's kind of a punky. It's resentful. It's cynical one. Maybe even pessimistic a little bit. And the riffs, well, there are plenty of influences this time. It really goes from place to place, which you will understand when you hear the music. So like I said, it can be our worst album so far, but it really could equally be our best. I don't fucking know. It's not my place to say that, what it is. But once it's out, I will definitely mention it to Rauta audience as well. Yeah, J Killers, it's likely that you will one day win a Rauta giveaway if you're just there, doing the stuff. Yeah, Rutkosen Jussi, Life Lover, they are active again. They're playing shows as we speak. They really just did their 20th anniversary show in Athens. So yeah. And yes, Natural Nightside is playing Metal Cruise. I really fucking love it. There is a good stage on the cruise boat, and the audience, well, they're gonna be wasted, so they can be, I think, quite good, especially when we are Impel Nazarene with. Rutkosen Jussi, never seen Nightside live. Are you a good live band? I think we are a good live band. I mean, we play tight, we play aggressive, and we are dark. I mean, darkness is one of the key themes with Nightside's music. I mean, obviously we are a melodic black metal band, but we are also aggressive, we are intense. There are clips if you want to see about our, Steelfest show. You can just Google it up. We got some good reviews of our latest gigs, so what can I say is that, yeah, I think we're pretty good band. And thank you, Natural. I'm happy that we're definitely playing there. And about new Nightside album, that should be in the making for 2026 because now we have this deal with Osmos. We're actually practicing new Nightside songs. We have next band rehearsal tomorrow. So we're now in the mix of, rehearsing some new songs. By new songs, I mean songs that we haven't played for a big while. We're gonna play some songs even for the first time ever, and then we're rehearsing some songs for the new album. So yeah. Now, Nazgul Black is voting Rauta ya esta chapilla yo. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it sounds like yeah, come to Brazil. Damien first can't find the newer Nightside album. I mean, are you looking for a physical copy or are you looking for like a digital copy? We have the physical copies. That box is right up on that shelf, that cupboard. those are Rautas, night side vinyls, and on the that other side of stuff we have night side CDs too. And right on the left side of me we have some night side tapes as well. But if you're looking for the new night side on CD or vinyl, hey, I can help you with that. We ship worldwide, except we are not able to ship to United States for the reason that it's impossible to send stuff to United States. What else? Belfegor, that is a band that I tried to interview a couple of years ago, but unfortunately they would not do it at the time. Chigulers was asking if I know Moon Citadel. Yes, I have reviewed Moon Citadel as well on the channel. Yes, Natred, I think you are able to come to Steelfest 2026. It's due time that you and me meet over beers, Natred. So get your skinny ass right in Finland for Steelfest and we'll have beers. I know some other Americans are coming to Steelfest as well. I think one of the American guys, someone I got to know through Rauta from Texas, is coming to Turku Saatanalle. So yeah, Americans can definitely come to on Finnish soil. Christopher is saying some rock and roll maybe. Rock and roll in what sense are you talking about? Yes, Freedom Frog, I hope you will enjoy the new Annihilators album. I'm personally happy that we finally get the new songs out. Naturally, do you mean do we have an album title yet for Nightside or Annihilators? Definitely not for Nightside. I have some working titles in my head, but I won't reveal them because nothing has been decided. For Annihilators, yes, I do have a title in my head. Oh no, Natrid is being held hostage by the government. Help email me cash to my PayPal. We will send you a lot of fake Mexican money. Jekyll is asking, what is the main source for that Fields Gorgoroth's music? Fuck, I know. Satan. The randomness is asking, what do I think about And Oceans? Well, it's a good band. I'm happy that we played with them. But I'm gonna be lazy ass here and say, guess what? Guess what here? Here is my opinion about And Oceans. Worst to best when they had few albums out. That's my previous retrospective. And that's about it. Rutkosen Jussi, how much Nightside CD cost? If I'm not mistaken, I set the price for 12 euros per CD. Yeah, so Nightside CD is 12 euros, for tapes 5, for vinyl 20. So 12 for CDs, 5 for tapes, and 20 for vinyl. Kaikinoktisus is, do you mind a couple of band mentions that I found impressive? By no means, let me know. Christopher, what about Old Carpathian Forest? Oh, Natred, the new Annihilators album title? No. Can you guess which letter the new album is gonna start with? Make a wild guess and I'll reveal the album name. Yeah, Natred, the funny thing, the new album was mostly written or already out in 2019. Then COVID hit and we didn't rehearse together, but this album is mostly, the songs are written pretty much like 2019 or so. So the album has been about 95% ready for past 5-6 years now. So I kind of feel it's a little bit weird that the album was so long in the works, But you know, my bandmate, he's a great person in so many ways, but he's also a weird fuck in so many ways. He doesn't. He would laugh if I was saying with this one. So you know, now Christopher, if you know anything about Annihilator's previous names, you know that D was the title for the previous one. You know, Death from Above. So make a wild guess. J. Gillers is also wrong with the title. Morgan, yeah, come to Steelfest 2027 if you don't like the 26 lineup. Up to you, my man. Yes, Natred, it's E, because we already did A for Annihilation, B for Blood and War, C was for that split title, and D was for, you know, Dead from Above. So E is gonna be... let me see. Examples? No. Extractions? No. How about Eradication? How about Extermination? Exterminate? Yeah, something around that sense. Probably it's gonna be most likely. I had this idea, but my bandmate didn't really like it. But I had this idea that maybe it's gonna be, you know, Exterminatus. But he didn't, you know, got the idea. And yes, you're right about the Morbid Angel thing. Exactly. That's how. After the demo tape, when we went to for A, for, you know, the Annihilation 10-inch back in the days, then I kind of got this idea. Hey, why don't we go for Morbid Angel with the, you know, the album titling? Go from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, alphabetical order, yeah. So, yeah, good one, Rutgers and Jussi, that's a good guess, but End of Christianity is, of course, for already used for Nightside. But yeah, I decided that, you know, this would be our homage to one of the best death metal bands of all times. So, you know, alphabetical order. That's, I think, you know, it's something like Those Who Know. So it's definitely a nod or homage to Morbid Angel. All right, Kai Ignota, thanks for your recommendations about Greece. So yeah, like Christopher and Natred figured out, it would be starting with E. Just Channel was asking, hyvää itsenäisyyspäivää, good Independence Day. Mitkä ovat ensi vuoden odotetummat keikat? What are the most expected gigs for the next year? And sorry, jos on kysytty monen kertaan, sorry if this has been asked many times. I will translate these Finnish questions to you people in English. Now, most anticipated gigs for me are obviously, I'm talking about events, not individual gigs. At the moment, Inferno and Steelfest. And which particular gigs? You want me to go particular gigs per band, or are these events enough for you? Then probably Beyond the Gates, because the lineup just got better with more announcements. Now, if you want to hear certain bands that I'm gonna mention, I will do it and show you the lineups. Extinguishing the Light of Christ. That sounds more like some Archcode album title. I mean, it's not a bad title, but not fitting for Annihilatus. Alright, Marcus, sounds like a solid plan with Blasphemy and Imbel Nazarene. Rutgeseus, we're talking about the new album title for Annihilators. I am not ready to talk about Nightside album title because we haven't really discussed about the name for upcoming Nightside title. But there are some ideas, let's put it this way, but it's too early to discuss the new Nightside album title at this point because most of the album isn't done yet. So we will see. But Nightside, album titles won't follow the Morbid Angel path as Annihilators. Jeremy, I think I'm gonna skip Negative Plane next year because I already saw them 2 years ago at Beyond the Gates. Not really my cup of tea. I mean, solid band on stage and all, but I mean, I already saw them and I'm not exactly fan of the band. And talking about Domination by Morbid Angel, it's my favorite. Christopher, good night. Thanks for being part of the stream, and once again, congratulations for your win. Jacob is asking, how many tats do I have? Let me see. This is actually 2 parts of a tattoo. This is made of... This was the first one I got. This Annihilator's chaos symbol, which is made of bullets, obviously. And this text was added later on. So these are 2 separate ones. Basically, this text is one piece, and this chaos symbol is one. So these are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I have this Atlas thing, which is actually one of my favorites on the calf. So what I was saying, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is definitely, I guess, the all-time favorite of mine, the Thor's hammer. So if we have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the last one would be Niner, which is also on the other calf, and it would be right here. This one, which is Ouroboros with a text. So 9 would be the count, if I'm not forgetting anything. Sometimes it's easy to forget. Hey, I have a tattoo right there. So yeah, 9, I think, at the moment. I've been planning for a new tattoo for many years, but sometimes things get into your head, get out of your head without getting anything done. But I will hopefully get more tattoos over time. Well, Rutger used to all the first albums until... Well, I actually like all the Morbid Angel albums. I was about to say all the albums until G or H. But I actually like the I one and K one too. So pretty much all the Morbid Angel albums are good. Yes, Vargian, Greece black metal is often overlooked. But I think Greece black metal scene is very important. After all, Greece black metal was there before Norwegian black metal. I mean, the bands like Rottenkreist, Varathron, Divisor, already from the 1980s. Even if it was 1989, still it was black metal from the 80s. As opposed to a lot of Norwegian bands basically happening in 1990 or 1991. Basically, the only bands before 1991 from Norway were Darkthrone and Mayhem, and even them were not really doing black metal back in the 80s. Like Darkthrone from 1987, it was a death metal band. So, whereas Greek started in late 80s, after Bathory, Celtic Frost, whatever you had, Norwegians woke up to the game pretty much on the start of the 90s. So Greek black metal totally deserves more attention. And I will make sure, as much as I can with Rauta, that Greek black metal is getting more recognition. So as you people know, when I'm making these retrospective videos, I'm making them out of the bands I have interviewed, which means retrospective videos are coming up out of bands like Necromantia, Varatron, Kavir, Zemial, Devise, of course, and eventually I hope also featuring Rotten Christ. But before that, I have to go through this Finnish black metal history series, which I've been making for already quite a few months. And there will be quite a few episodes until I'm done with the Finnish black metal episodes. Then I will move on to Greece at some point. So Greek black metal needs more recognition, and I will make sure, as I can, that I will be talking about more Greek black metal, because I think these bands, they do deserve more attention. Not only because of the history, but also because the Greek sound is so unique. Now, some of the Greek bands I'm not really that big fan of, but my respect and how much I honor these bands, it's different level. So, what else? Herr Dirty is asking, do I collect vinyl records? No, I don't really collect anything these days. But I do have vinyls right here. And once I'm done with my CD things in the episode series, the next one will be letter L. Then I will move on to vinyl ones. But I'm not really collecting anything. And I don't even have that many CDs. I'm thinking it's probably somewhere between 700 and 800. And if I had saved all the CDs I've gotten for review alone, I would have something like 7,000 plus. But I don't collect. I am very picky in what I put in my shelves. So when you see those episodes which are focusing on any given letter, I really treasure those albums. So I only put the ones I really fucking love, in my collection. And I totally understand what are you saying, like vinyl is so little music for so much money. I'll give you a good example. This week I went to a second-hand shop, took some of my promos here, and look at these pricings. So I got this limited edition Beheksen album. This is 42 euros 50 cents. And this Celtic Frost Monotheist, 81 euros. Well, I got a discount for 75. Do I really spend 75 euros on a Celtic Frost vinyl? Not really. This was more like trade-in money, so I didn't actually pay any cash for it. So I would never have bought this for 75 euros because I'm not collecting, but because I was getting this as a part of trade, getting those useless promo CDs and shit. I got worth like 300 euros. So spending something like 120 euros for these two didn't matter to me. So there's my explanation. But I get it. Vinyl can be so expensive. So yeah. And Nered Burada is saying, Kippis Suomi Finland, love your channel, Rauta. Thank you so much, Nere, and Kippis to you too. Finnish independence is right here, so we're celebrating. Oh, Rutkosi Jussi has about 50 tattoos. That's a great amount. I want to see those tattoos someday if we meet. Freedom Frog has a wedding ring from failed marriage. Had the chaos symbol. I'm sorry to hear about it. Yeah, sorry about your marriage indeed, Freedom Frog. Marcus was secretly deleting the messages. Whatever is happening here. What else? What is your favorite BM band from Greece, though? Now, this might surprise you, but probably my all-time Greece favorite band is Yoth Iria and then Raven Cult. Because Raven Cult is so badass. Nobody seems to talk about it, but all the albums I got through the years for review, I fucking love them. So Yoth Iria and Raven Cult, my favorite Greek black metal bands. This is a very good question by Sir Damien Frost, and I'm gonna read this out loud. In later years, we know French black metal got big reputational boost. That's true. We have the early, French black metal thing with Les Légions Noirs, and then later on the new batch of bands like those Ladlow bands and other stuff, even DSBM bands, and then Sir Damien Frost continues, and Iceland has highly respected dissonant style. That's true. That's what I called third wave black metal. And now Sir Damien Frost is asking this question: which European country do you see may be the next to rise to prominence? I would guess it must be Germany, because bands like Italy, Spain, they don't really have it. Belgium scene, way too small. Dutch, the same. Even if they have good bands like, say, Asagraum. Poland already rose to power, as well as Greece, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Iceland. So if we're just dismissing the countries that were already spoken about, I think German black metal is, has its time to shine. And it's not about that they don't have old bands. I mean, they do. Bands like Moonblood, Catharsis, The Ruins of Beverust. I'm thinking one name. Bands like Black Thrash, like Disaster, and of course Nargaroth. But Germany also has a new wave of black metal bands. Bands like Mavorim, Sarkrista, and I'm thinking some other bands which I can't get into my head. My point here is, recent years when doing Rauta, I have found so many other German black metal bands which do have the potential. Period Through Fire, label with Night Size second album. They have already put out a lot of good German bands out there on the map. So I think definitely German black metal should be getting more recognition, in my opinion. Some of them are not great as of yet. I mean, Catharsis and Nargaroth and all that old stuff is great, but I mean the newer style. So I think German style is something that probably will be pushed and getting the boost. So German black metal is something to keep your eyes open for. And of course, goes with the UK scene as well. UK has a lot of bands besides Cradle of Field. Bands like Thy Dying Light and Old Forest, and some newer bands. So definitely UK is another one. But I would say though that Germany have more bands than UK. So if I get to choose only one country from Europe that is supposed to get the next boost, I think it will be Germany. And hello, Jonsered Rocks. I hope you got the latest parcel I sent your way. And if not, maybe it's coming within a week or so. You will have your next parcel sent very soon, since now it's 7th of December and it's time to do the December sent out. And yeah, J-Killers, get tattoos when you're older. Just think about them through before you get them. Rutgers used to mention about running Christ like Non Serviam and Mighty Contract. The funny thing is, some of my first black metal albums I got on CD were actually Rotting Christ. And if you got Battery Yellow Goat album for 20 euros, J-Killers, give it to me. I'd love to buy it. Okay, Marcus, I get it. If there's too much personal information, then better to delete. And Canadian black metal is pretty good, especially if it coming from the Quebec scene. I love it. You know, bands like Deletier, Monarch, Forteresse. There are really good bands coming from Quebecois area of Canada. Of course, there are other parts too, but that is my favorite part of Canadian, you know, black metal. And Vargian, it's nice to hear that some other people do like Raven Cult as well. Nocturne, what Nocturnity? That's that one I haven't heard. Rutgers, you see, we met already back in the year. Sorry, I cannot put face on your name. I'm sorry, I have bad memory when it comes to names. A human serpent on Acherontas. Yeah, Vargian, I have reviewed some of that stuff too. Let me see. Let me see. Human serpent. I think I reviewed of Human Serpent. I reviewed the album For I, The Misanthropist, and Inhumane Minimalism already in 2021. And for Acherontas, I never got the album for review, but I met the guy and I have heard some of the music. Gotta say, I don't know that Polish album you were referring to. Yeah, Baksaksa is pretty good band from Germany. Yeah, because of Astralis, I get what you mean by UK scene being very small, but I think there are promising names coming from UK. So I wouldn't say it sucks. There are bands like Winterfületh or Saur, if you want to include some more pagan, non-satanic black metal bands. So I think they're definitely worth mentioning. And before you say Saur is from Scotland, it's still from UK, even if it's not from England. And like I mentioned, bands like Thy Dying Light is actually good. And Old Forest was pretty good too. Oh, Jonser Rocks, I'm not that big of a fan of doom metal. I always been too aggressive, too fast tempo, for doom. I mean, I know Reverend Bizarre is highly respected band in Finland. I think maybe the most respected doom metal band from Finland. We actually played a show, back in the days with them, with Nightside. This was probably late 90s. Well, I'm pretty sure it was late 90s. I didn't know the guys back in the days, but nowadays I'm really happy that I have met Sami and Kimi from ex Reverend Bizarre, and I've interviewed both, so nice guys too. But yeah, I remember when we played the show with Nightside, I think after Reverend Bizarre, they had traditional Doom cross, Christian cross. And I was looking like down, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We're an anti-Christian black metal band. We want our crosses to be inverted. Because obviously we are anti-Christian and evil. And these guys would be the traditional Doom band having to cross the right way. And we're like, fuck that shit. I remember being very, very judgmental. I mean, we didn't get into fights or anything like that, but I looked down upon, the band like, oh, what the fuck? You're having Christian cross. What's wrong with you? I vaguely remember the name Nocturnity, but I don't remember if I like the music or not. Jay Killers is asking, what's your favorite muscle to train? I don't really train muscles, I train movements. So I guess my main favorite movement is um, deadlifts. So maybe lower back then. Grab. Talking about German black metal, but Grab. I think I have some reviewed something by Grab. Yeah, this album called Zeitlang. I actually reviewed it earlier this year. I can give you the review link if you care, but here is my Grab review. Tundruket is asking, do I know what happened to Farwan? What has happened to Farwan? Has something happened to Farwan? I don't keep touch with Farwan. He knows Rauta and I know his channel, but we are not exactly like real life buddies. We don't keep in touch. So what's going on with Farwan? Yeah, I saw Saur when they played at Inferno where I did the interview. Such a nice guy, and we had such a good connection about uh, Scotland and the music and the feel. I'm really happy that we did that interview. Do I know the Finnish? Do I like the Finnish band Swallowed? I never listened to it that much, but I know them by name and fame. And the new Azazel album. Well, Rutgers Jussi, I actually did a review video some time ago. So if you feel like I'm a little bit lazy to sometimes comment some of these stuff and instead of give you link, it's because I've reviewed so many stuff. I don't want to spend the time here on stream to go through that again. The new Azazel album is pretty good, but not as good as the previous one. But here's my review link if you want to see them. And no, I didn't watch the new Azazel video. I got the link on Discord, but I haven't watched it. Now, Warlock records might be hard to find on US soil, but let me know, Freedom Frog, if you're coming to Steelfest. I'll try to arrange you something because I'm friend with the Warlock guy, so I can probably help you out with that for Steelfest if you're coming. Yes, Vargan, Andy was such a nice guy and we had really good talks. It's been a while since I talked to Andy, but we had still the thing going on. We are still talking every now and then, but it's been a while. I'll gonna send Andy a message on WhatsApp like, oh, I wanted to mention, fuck. No, greetings sent to Andy of Sour. So I sent Andy a message about the latest album and the greetings, and mentioned that we were talking about it, sour and stuff. Um, yeah, Jonse Rock, I know what you're talking about, buying albums and all that stuff. It's great. Music is the best addiction. Out of the goat, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm very busy with the physical albums. And Freedom Frog, yeah, no problem. Just let me know if you can find Warlock albums in the USA before coming to Steelfest. Yeah, I can ask if those albums can be brought to Steelfest. Fireone hasn't posted for 4 months. What the fuck? Hello, Anonymous. This is a good question. Who were your favorite people to interview and why? That's a crazy good question because why? That can mean so many good questions and or answers. And now favorite people. I don't want to, list my favorite people because it's almost like, hey, choose your favorite child. But I can say this much: there are people who are more talkative and who are more focused, and as such, I would rather think about which are some of my favorite interviews as such. Now, one always comes to my mind, and it's this interview with Zemial guy and Proscriptor from Absu, which I did in 2019, because those two are absolute gentlemen. Proscriptor from Absu and Dimitrios from Zemial, absolutely great, smart individuals. So that is definitely one of the highlights for me. Now, personally, I was really happy to do interview with Markov Beherit. He was so talkative, despite a little bit broken English and all, about his equipment, career, and all. Like, Beherit is a lot bigger than what Rauta obviously is. But still, we had this long conversation about his career and music and all that stuff. So I really felt like Marco or Holocausto was giving a lot of his time and effort talking to me about this band. This was obviously during the COVID, and it was only as late as this year when we finally spoke man to man, face to face, here in my home city when they were playing at Turku Saatanalle, and we were talking about the possibility to do a new Beherit interview, and this time, face to face, not through our screen. So that is definitely one of my highlight moments. If I go a little bit deeper in personal levels, I guess I would mention Guy from Archgoat because he's an old pal of mine, and having done these two interviews with him feels like I'm really talking to an old friend, which is the case obviously. But this list would be too long if I started listing everybody who has been very nice to me, very supportive, because pretty much all of the people have been very very helpful and open to me and explaining things. So unfortunately, I don't have a perfect answer for this, but these favorite people of mine must be something that I know personally. So this is why I'm giving this list of people. I would definitely say Henry from Moonsorrow and Fintroll because he's an old pal of mine. I always cherish my talks with Henry or Trollhorn for that matter because he's such a great guy, good friend, and obviously these kind of moments cannot be overlapped by someone I don't know. But really, I don't really have anything bad to say about people. Like, for example, Eric of Watain, he was very open about these ideas, like talking about things which some bands might be shutting down on, and instead he would be just more open about it. So obviously, I'm very supportive when band people like this are really doing the talking with me. So I don't want just to mention my friends because that would be the easy way to explain it. So I hope this kind of answer gives you a little bit of insight why I prefer knowing someone personally, knowing that I can trust them and they will trust me back. I mean, it goes a long way, really, because then you know you have some kind of a deeper connection with the person you're talking to. So some people are more reserved. They don't probably know what I'm going for with these interviews and all. But most of the people have been very, very, supportive for me and Rauta. So in a way, they are all very special to me. So hard to pick my favorite kids in that sense. I know it's a somewhat of a shitty answer, but I hope you understand my point. Yeah, Jonser Rocks, I think that sad interview it was good. The guys were very much spontaneous to do that interview. I mean, it wasn't planned before I go to Athens to do it. Turns out these guys were very nice, and even they had something like a language barrier. One of the daughters actually helped us to do that stuff. So when they were lost for words in English, then one of the daughters, would help to translate these questions and answers to me so we could pull it off. So I'm personally really happy that we did that Sad interview. And Sad is indeed a good Greek black metal band. So yeah, hopefully you will like it. It is coming in 2 weeks. Yeah, Jay Killers, I get it. These lives are fun because you're all like the only young guy. Yeah, 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 yeah. You are in a way talking to uncles and dads. That's true. Yeah, out of the goat. If you want to get your CD reviewed on the Rauta channel, just send me email and we will talk about it. Echoes of Australia said that enjoyed Oculus interview. Yeah, that was very very pleasant chat as well. So glad you liked it. Me too. I really like doing it. Um, Freedom Frog. Very happy to hear that you found some Warlock CDs from New York. That's great. And yes, Tiako, I hope that we can do new Beherit interview because we already talked about it with Holocausto um, earlier this year. So it's happening, I guess, when we can find the time and place. And yeah, Yonzer Rocks, I forgot to mention that Dagon 1 with Inquisition, that's already one of my favorites. Dagon was very friendly, very open about a lot of ideas, and that's why we did this interview for more than 70 minutes. So yeah, that's definitely one of the best ones. I truly liked doing that. Dagon was such a gentleman, and I know some people hate for what he did and all that stuff, but that's a different thing than meeting the person in life and talking to him that stuff. Rutgers Jussi also has a good question about who or which band has been real douchebag to you in these years. Now, the funny thing is, no band has been actually a douchebag or annoying asshole to me over these years. To be honest, I was expecting that kind of a behavior from some bands, but nope. Not a single band has been annoying to me or treating me like shit. So, wherever I go, I feel like I've treated with respect. Now, obviously, there are bands that don't do interviews at all. So, of those who I have asked to do interview with me but haven't done, I don't know if they are douchebags or annoying cunts. But everybody I have met have been nice one way or another. Some are nicer, some are more professional than the others. But so far, everybody has been very respectful for what I do. Nobody has gotten angry with me or anything like that. So I cannot really complain. I feel like Uh, I feel like I'm privileged in that sense. Oh, Damien Frost just bought the entire Sour catalog. That's wonderful. Great. Yeah, Tunturikettu, there is one Beherit interview from 2020, but I mean face to face Beherit interview happening someday. Jonser Rocks talked to Erik of Watan once and think he is more disrespectful more than he should. That might be true. I met Erik twice, and both times he has been actually respectful. So maybe it's about the day and time and all that stuff. I don't know. Honestly, when we did the interview, he was very respectful and a decent, person. And when I met him later on in Bergen and went to greet him in a backstage bar, and he came to greet me with, smile on his face, which I didn't expect, to be honest. So, yeah. And Anonymous, glad if you like the answer. And the Belzer interview, those guys were really, really nice. The funny thing I have to tell about Belzer interview, before we did that, he actually knew my band, Annihilators. And I was like, what the fuck? How can you know my band? Because, I don't really advertise my bands on the channel. So I didn't know. I didn't expect that he would do the connection. We were just standing in this bar in Oslo, and he was like, "Hey, I like your band Annihilators," and I was like, "What the fuck? We're not here to talk about my bands, but I mean, glad if you do." It was totally unexpected. Both guys from Belzer, really nice, down to earth guys, no rock star bullshit. I really got to respect the guys with our talks. I think we really had good time. So yeah, I would love to meet those guys again over beers and talks. So what again? Do you mind me asking how young are you? If you're young like Jay Killers. Damien Frost is asking, can you comment on why Sami Thaiserben is inactive with the studio material? Now I haven't met Sami for many years now, so I don't know why he's not making new music or if he's making new music. But I think he's focusing on the record store and drinking beer or you know making music. I don't know. I haven't met Sami for a few years now. Thank you, Anonymous. That's a kind thing to say coming from you that I don't look someone to mess with. I like to think it that way. I mean, I'm not to intimidate nobody, really, but maybe I am. Just joking. What I mean is, yeah, I know, I think I know what you mean. Um, but, you know, I'm blind to myself in that sense. I've wrestled and grappled and fought with so much bigger guys than me that when I see different people, I don't see the danger in them by such. So, and I know I'm very self confident guy. I always keep my chin up in a way. I know how to carry myself around. So some might think I'm an asshole because hey, I'm not to like go down and I'm sorry I am here. I'm like, what the fuck? If you don't like me, it's fine. If you do, it's better. But I guess it helps that I have this confidence and I know what I know and I don't which kind of people I like and what I don't like helps when you are experienced and when you have done this thing what I have been doing so many years. But even when I was like something like 20s, a lot smaller guy, a lot less experienced guy, I think I had this lunacy in me. So I was in a way too confident for my own good. So if I went to places, I didn't have that fear in me, you know. I would go into places and some people might be saying like, okay, this guy is like, and everything is right in his head or whatever. But I always got along with a lot of guys. What I'm saying here is when I like people, I am a very friendly guy. I'm not trying to sell myself to you. What I'm saying here is I like to treat people with respect, especially when they deserve that. And most people who are decent human beings, they deserve to be treated nicely. Now, this might sound like it's a direct contradiction what I just said earlier in the stream that I've been very, very misanthropic lately, or always. But that's because in the end, I'm a human being, much like everybody else, meaning that those who I like, those who I think that deserve, uh, you know, to be treated with, respect and no bullshit, they will certainly get it. And those who I don't like, those who I don't respect, I don't give my time or attention to them. It's not like I'm gonna fight them. That's just waste of time, really. So, if somebody decides to annoy me, fight me, whatever, that can be arranged, but nobody really needs that bullshit. Life is too short wasting time on people who are bullshit. Just so pick your fights, go to places where you will meet people who you can have good times with. It's very, very fucking simple. No need to make things overly complicated, if you know what I mean. So fighting people is usually a waste of time. Just focus on the things that matter. Focus on the good things and you will do just fine. Doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter what gender you are, doesn't matter what background you're coming from. If you treat other people with respect and you're not gonna fuck them over, most likely you will have decent time in your life. But there is no reason to be, pleasing everybody. You never can please everybody. Even if you're the nicest guy in the room and you treat everybody with respect, there will be always some asshat trying to challenge you for what you are. So if you're a nice person, there will be always some asshole trying like, oh, why are you being nice to this guy? Are you licking up to this arse or whatever? Just don't give a fuck about it. Focus on the good stuff. Focus on the good people and you're right on the good path. This is my simple advice. And has worked for me for 50 years. So I should know a thing or two about it. But if I don't, fuck that shit. This is one question I will now read and answer before I'm gonna get the last beer of the evening. I will just finish this one. But Freedom Frog was asking, and this is actually answered in the video, but I will still answer it here. I think you may have answered this in your comments somewhere, but I just can't remember. Why is the werewolf interview blurred? Was that your decision? Yes, it was my decision, but it was because Mr. Werewolf didn't like the interview. He kind of wanted to take me down at that. Like, I'm not going to put it down, but I can blur it for you if it helps. Because there were lots of comments when people were actually attacking how he looked. A little bit swollen, a little bit fat, or drinking, overeating, and too much. A lot of people were making nasty comments on his looks. And had I been more experienced as a YouTuber, I would have just, censored some of those comments because they were making fun of his looks. And obviously this is an easy target when you're something as someone who is divided in opinions like Satanic Warmaster. It's easy to go, oh, it's that motherfucker from Finland, I'm gonna attack that guy. So we came to this agreement that if I blur the interview, someday we can do part two. But he basically said that, hey, you either remove or blur the interview, or I won't be doing another one with you ever. And as a friend of him, I was like, okay, I can blur that stuff, but I won't remove it because we agreed when we did this interview, it will go online. So it was kind of like a compromise, if you will. So you can thank all the people who made these stupid comments on his looks. That's the reason why the Satanic War Master interview is blurred. It's because of these idiots that went to call on his body and face and whatever. So it's thanks to these idiots why the interview is blurred. Jake Killers is mentioning, I like your bathroom interview and the Turku Saatana video where the guy pissed on the Christian guy and he Anne so what? Yeah, that's a funny one. Yeah, I'm really happy, Tuturkettu, now that you mentioned. I'm really also happy about the Vardruna and Immu Burger interviews. They are some great moments that I will totally cherish because, I wanted to do that Vardruna interview because obviously as a folk act, it's a big one, but also he has this connection with the black metal scene, being ex-Gorgoroth member and all. So I'm really happy that we did it. And of course, getting the Dimmu Borgir interview done was very important because they're such a big band, and even if a lot of people spit on bands like Dimmu Borgir because they're big and mainstream, I mean, it's still fucking important band in the black metal scene. And personally, I don't have a problem with Dimmu Borgir myself. So I'm very happy that that interview got done. Now, if I only got to do Cradle of Filth and Behemoth as well, I would have covered the three biggest black metal bands. I would love to do that because I don't have a problem if a band is successful and getting big and all. Now, if somebody does have a problem with that, it's their shame, really. But I want to do interviews with a lot of bands. I want to cater to all kind of needs. Doesn't matter if it's Metallica or some underground band with only five fans or whatever. So, I think a lot of this thing like, hey, it's too big of a band. Well, fuck you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But I still want to do this band interview because they're important. And now, Jonsered Rocks, once again, you were really, really overly kind. Thank you so much, Jonsered. You are a really, really big supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. I will dedicate my next beer to you. And now, people, excuse me for 2 minutes. I need to have a glass of water. My throat is getting dry. And then the last beer of the evening before I call it quits. It's already almost 3:30. Oh man, I was supposed to be sleeping already, but I will be here with you because I want to be with you, and also I couldn't let Jonsered Rocks down now that with this donation. Damn you, guy. No, thank you, really. And then we will talk about Rauta's 2026 plans. This is something that I wanted to talk to you earlier, but I was too busy with answering all the questions. Since I have already shown you the books and the stuff earlier this stream, we need to talk about 2026. So give me 2 minutes for water and beer and I will be back. remember early on today in the stream when I said I want to drink beers today. I really meant it because I've been frustrated a little bit lately about people, and I kind of wanted to punch some people in the face. Now, I'm not a violent person, so obviously I don't punch people in the face. That doesn't mean I don't feel about it. So, instead of punching people in the face, I do something good like go to the gym, play video games, and drink beers. So the last beer of the evening, and I kind of sent this to my friend. So the last beer right here is Mallasepat salted licorice apricot sour. It's a candy sour beer type, meaning it has salted licorice, apricot, milk, sugar, and mixed fermentation. 5.2. Now I do love sour beers. There's this joke going on. Not really a joke, but still, bear with me. I like sour beers, I like sour candies, I like music that is sour, and according to some lady friends around me, I also like sour ladies. So let's have a beer for being sour. So this is the last beer of the evening, and obviously I have to be going to bed soonish. So let's say within 45 minutes or so. So this will be the last beer, and let's make those comments fly. The shame is on me when I started this stream today as late as 1 o'clock. I would figure out we would be 2 hours here in, then I would play some video games, go to bed. But here I am after 2 hours with you guys because you have been asking interesting questions, and well, these donations help too. So, all right, let's get back to the comments. First of all, like I always say, I will read the comments with tagged me. Jonser Rocks made this question. Bands treat you with respect as your questions are intelligent. Thank you. And not the same old trash. Hands down, the most interesting questions on YouTube. Thank you so much, Jonser. I try to do my best to have meaningful and intelligent and interesting questions, obviously. I don't always succeed at that, but I hope and I do my best, and I hope that these interviews I do are getting better over the years. So, thank you so much for your words. Those interviews are obviously done to you, done for you. I am just a messenger boy, so I hope with this money that is you're sending and you're getting the views, I hope to do more interviews, then I can serve you better. So thanks to you, dear people, by following the channel, by donations. Well, that will be putting the money on Rauta's account, which means I'm doing even more these trips and more interviews. So what comes around goes around. All right, back to answering your questions. Sir Damien first was mentioning confidence, assertiveness, and polite in one package get you very far in the world. I totally agree with you, Sir Damien Frost. And yes, Marcus is very right when he said, hating people doesn't mean you can't act right. Totally. I can totally hate, or more like dislike people passively. That doesn't mean I have to act on it. So I rather just, if I start disliking some people or whatever, I just take my aggression to the gym and then I relax with games and movies with good friends, playing music for fuck's sake. That's one of the best outlet when you have some aggression in your system, or maybe you're getting depressed by the world, by the life, by the getting older and shit. You can make some great riffs out of it. Like I was talking to my bandmate and he was like going through a rough patch, being disappointed with some people and just generally annoyed. And I was like, hey, now make that into your riffs because that's what I'm doing with my lyrics. Now, if I'm annoyed with something, if I'm getting angry with something, I try to make lyrics I can put these ideas into. Obviously, I'm not gonna write punk lyrics. Fuck everybody, I hate everybody, die everybody, kill, kill, kill. I mean, those kind of lyrics would work if I wanted to do very, boneheaded, simple death metal or punk. I want to do a little bit different, however, when it comes to Nightside, for example. But that doesn't mean that those ideas are not hidden underneath. So, what I'm saying here is sometimes when you have these emotions that are not the good ones, you just put it into your art. Whether you write a riff, whether you pound drums, or whether you're the lyricist and vocalist of the band, you can put those into the music. That's what I do, and it definitely helps me dealing with some nasty emotions, right? And Anonymous, if you liked it, thank you so much for your words. Um, yeah, I agree, Jonsered. It's fucking pathetic when people shame the people on their looks or whatever. So yeah, fuck the universe, totally. Fuck the Universe brings me to the topic of craft. It was fun to notice that Life Lover Live's lineup is actually made of ex Shining and Craft people. I got to meet this guy Alex, who played or still plays, I think, in Craft and used to play in Shining and turned out to be a very, very nice, pleasant guy to talk to. So it was nice to make these new friends, also in Athens, with some Swedes. So I meet some nice people, and when I feel a little bit annoyed by other people in the world, when I go to these festivals and events, there are my tribe of people, including this Alex or Kim from Life Lover, or Dimitris from Athens who was making this gig, and so many others. Nuctopia guys, really nice ones. We get along just fine. Nocturnal Depression guys, also cool. Sad guys, Thylite guy, So yeah, talking about Satanic Warmaster still or Werewolf, he is indeed controversial person, but he's also a really nice guy. He just has these different moods like rest of us. Sometimes he might be this drunken skunk and nobody's making sense out of it. Then he can be really really friendly guy. I mean, I've known the guy since late 90s, and Werewolf is a nice guy when you got to learn him a little bit more than his role as a band member. So yeah, Tia, I agree totally with going after his looks is just bullying basically. Mikko is asking what are my thoughts on Saturnian Mist. Well, I can honor what they do, which is a little bit different than the early birds of Finnish black metal, but musically, it never made a big impact on me. It's not like I dislike the band, but I never became a fan of the band, if that's what you're asking. Vargian, thanks for being on the stream and good night. Um, J Killers is asking, what is my favorite record store in Finland or web shop? Now, I don't have a favorite web shop in Finland, and well, I've always, liked levykauppacks. I'm not gonna deny it. So I guess that's nowadays my favorite. But yeah, I used to visit record stores that are not operating anymore. So again, there's that. And thank you, Mr. Randomness. Yes, hate needs to be placed. And Freedom Frog, that's a question I've got over the years. Like, how can you be a misanthrope when you actually have lots of friends? And I'm always like, hey, I can't be selective. So even if I don't like about 99% of mankind, that doesn't mean I don't get to be tribal. And by tribal, I mean these people I operate with. And my tribe is not about Nordic people. My tribe is not about being white. My tribe is definitely not by being a man or dad or what the fuck or bald guys. My tribe is the metalhead people and some few other individuals that understand what I'm all about. Now, most of my friends just tend to be from the metal scene because metal people understand one another. We understand what it means to be kind of an outcast in the world. We understand if we say Satan, we don't literally mean there's some dark hornet creature right above our balcony, or outside in the yard or whatever. We know what it means without actually having to explain it. So when we're talking about people who understand this dark, violent, brutal music, be it death metal, black metal, thrash metal, doom metal, doesn't matter. We understand the language. We don't have to explain it, decipher. And I think that's one of the things we kind of know that as metal people, we are kind of rebels. Maybe not the biggest rebels out there, but still we are one kind of a tribe. And obviously our tribe as metal people is then divided into smaller portions, like, per genre. Black metal people are different than they power metal people. And it's not like I'm saying that all the black metal people are the same, but the language tends to be pretty much the same. So, say, if a Burzum fan meets another Burzum fan, they are most likely on the same page, what they're looking for. One guy might be politically different than the other. Sure, that doesn't matter, however. Like, look at this gal Tia, who is present here on the stream. I got to meet her through Rauta, but we met in real life. And I don't know where was the first, for the first time, but I'm pretty sure it was in Oslo. So we started talking. Turns out, yeah, she's from Finland. I am too, just different cities and all. But when we realized we are from the different scene, I mean, different cities and all. We have different friends and all. Turns out we have mutual friends too. But we are here for the same reason, to see the bands, to enjoy the shows and all that stuff. And we became friends. We've been bumping into each other in various places, in Finland, in Norway, and so on. And that is the kind of unwritten chemistry that lies there. Like, it doesn't matter if someone like J Killers here is 15 years of age, or me being 50 years of age. We can still get along when we know these things that, hey, we're in the same kind of bands. We like to read same kind of lyrics. We like to see same kind of interviews. The questions, the answers, and so forth. That's why we are here on the stream as well. So what I'm saying is, it's this kind of a tribal behavioral patterns that connects us. Or Jonzerd Rocks. I never met Jonzerd Rocks in real life. However, when we're talking on these streams or Rauta's Discord or whatever, we're getting along fine. Yet we have never met. He's a guy of roughly my age. We've been talking to one another on these streams. He asks me questions. He supports the channel, but I'm not, saying that we are the same because he supports the channel. We are the same because we like similar music. We like to listen to the same kind of tunes, read same kind of lyrics and all that stuff. So what I'm saying, when people have these common interests, it might be just having the same band shirt. Hey, you're also wearing that, Destroy 666 band shirt. Hey, nice, you like that one. Which is your favorite album? And then you start talking. That is the beauty of it, and that connects us as human beings when we go to events like Steelfest, or we go even Wacken Open Air. We know we are different from a lot of people who go for pop concerts, or people who don't go to any concerts at all. So this is the kind of a unwritten connection what we have, and as such you can be misanthrope about say 95% of the people, and yet you can still find your own group, your own tribe, your own clique of people just by, hey, there's a long-haired guy wearing an Entombed shirt. He must be a cool guy because, hey, fuck, he wears an Entombed shirt. So that is our own language. I don't know in a way why I'm explaining this to you because you all know it, but I kind of feel I want to explain it because once you know it, you also recognize it, and maybe you can explain this to the people who don't understand what you're talking about. Like, say, schoolmates, work colleagues, they are like, hey, why are you going to this black metal freak circus? Why do you have long hair? Why have you dyed your hair? Why you have these band shirts? And you're like, you would never understand, because if you would be like me, wearing the shirts, having this look or whatever. So what I'm saying here is this tribal thing is really great, but I don't expect people to understand it. But those who understand, they will understand. Like Rutger used to mention, craft is great but a little bit forgotten. I understand, I agree. And now they have the original vocalist out of the band and even the later vocalist out of the band. And there is a new one, I think. Rich Original is a new follower here. Very much welcome to the stream then. Maybe for your first time. You're from UK. Watching your videos, great stuff. Thank you. That is nice to hear from you, J Rich Original. Welcome to the stream indeed, and I hope you're enjoying the content as well as the stream. Jonser Rock was asking me, ever heard of French band Sepulcro? Unfortunately, I haven't. That is a name I never bumped into before this. All right, thanks for the tip. Hello, Zach. I'm doing just fine. Having beers with online friends, obviously. Very good. Yes, sir, Damien Frost. I totally agree with you what you said about Arcanum and Yildiarn being very prolific and busy and yet then stopping. I don't know how that happens to a lot of people. I couldn't imagine that happening to me, because there are always tunes going in my head. So I couldn't imagine stopping doing music or talking about music and all that stuff. Yeah, Jay Killers, I've noticed that you don't watch that many Rauta videos because you're asking me about their stuff that I've been reviewing, but it's all very okay. And Jons already, we want you to post a picture, of course. And the Uncertain Rocks, I totally understand when you say you have normal work but cannot stand most people you work with. That's totally normal. Thank you, Freedom Frog, once again for your donation. Enjoy another beer on me next time or coffee in the morning. Thank you for these excellent streams. They have become a great part of my week. I salute you, Freedom Frog. as well as Jonser Drop. Thank you for so much for your support. I'm happy to do these streams when your people are enjoying them. For me, these online talks, they're very refreshing because even though we haven't met, I think we have this connection. Like I said, we are the same tribe. In the end, we are enjoying the same kind of music, same kind of bands, and I think these are very, very cool way to get connected. And talking to J Killers, yes, Woodcut Record and Cult, they are both good online shops too, run by cool people. I know people from both of the places, so yeah. Oh, Echoes of Astralis, that's pretty weird. The story what you mentioned about Dark Throne shirt. But, those things happen. And randomness mentioning I love all kinds of metal music, and that's not easy. No, it's not always easy. People from various scenes tend to be so different, but then again, you probably have more connection with other metal people than people from, say, pop music and all that stuff. Tia, do you think that we met actually at the hotel room party after Inferno or before that? Because I think we met before the hotel room party. I'm not sure, but anyway, it was good time. Because I remember when I lost my jacket and then you found it, and we've been in touch ever since. Yeah, Marcus, like you said, don't really approach people in real life, but still hop on these streams to talk black metal with like-minded lunatics. We are the kind of lunatics, yeah. Rauta was asking, will I interview Mikko Aspa sometime? It would be great to see. Well, I've been talking to Mikko Aspa at least a few times about the possibility of doing Mikko Aspa / Clandestine Blaze interview. Well, it's up to him. He knows I want to do it. And originally he promised to do the interview with me, but he changed his mind at some point. So I don't know. We'll see about it. And yeah, we should totally make meeting in Rauta Discord voice chat sometime. We actually talked about it a while ago on Rauta's Discord, which I would like you to people join. That we should totally do some kind of I don't know, kind of online talk. We had at least once or twice. I think 2 times we had this kind of a voice chat with people having their video connections on Rauta's Discord, and that was a very friendly chat. People were laughing, having beers, and we were just talking. I try to arrange such one at some point. And thank you, Freedom Frog, when you mentioned that very well said, Jerry. Rutger Silsi was asking what my favorite movie, series, and comics. My all-time favorite movie is Apocalypse Now. That's just some great movie. I really enjoy it more than others. But apart from that, original Star Wars trilogy and Lord of the Rings, Fight Club, Pulp Fiction. That would be roughly my top 10, 10 out of 10 movies, I mean. My favorite series are Oz, the prison one, and Twin Peaks, and The Boys, the nihilistic superpower series. It's just astonishing, just great. And the comics, well, I guess overall comics, I would go with Conan the Barbarian comics. But there are lots of others. I grew up with comic books. And Sir Damien, first, I've never met metal people. Well, that's wild. If you ever come to an event where I am, just pull me by the sleeve and we'll talk. Yeah, Yonzer Rock, you might be looking cool looking grandfather of metal. So yeah, I would definitely pass out. That's true. All right, what other comments? All right, Johnson Rocks, thank you so much for being on the stream. Catch you later. Yeah, Rutger Jussi, that's a very, very common story, I guess, when he said that your friend said that nobody would like to listen to that kind of stuff, and then he would end up listening to the same. That happens. Yeah, Marcos, I hope that Clandestine Blaze interview will happen, but it's not up to me. Okay, Tia. Yeah, might be a different Holo Room party you meant. Anyway, I'm glad that we met. I'm glad to have you on my side on those trips. So it's been really great to meeting you every now and then. Like we had really good stuff going on in Bergen just in August. So as you always know, I really appreciate your company and I appreciate you coming to these streams. So my salute to Tia for being a trusted travel companion of sorts. Jarolam is asking, how do you know how old Mikko is or his birthday? There's no info. I know he's a few years younger than me. Let me see. I was at his 39th party, but that was a few years ago. I think Mikko is something like 46 or 47 right now. So he's like 3 or 4 years younger than me. Oh, the Discord link. Yeah, let me get that for you. Okay. Hold on. Why on earth it's not giving me this link right now? I mean, I have the Discord invite link. Okay, there's this streaming thing that is going on, so that's why it's not happening. For some reason, they are not exactly. Okay. Okay, now I have the proper link. I will send it right here. That link should take you to Rauta's Discord, but it's always on my Rauta's biography, like J Killers mentioned. So you can always find the Discord link on these Rauta's videos. And yes, here Damien Frost, Blade Runner is a great movie as well. Definitely one of the best cyberpunk movies. Lusika is asking, hey, live, how about Brain Dead, the best movie ever? It's too comedic for me. When I like comedic movie series or movies, I like a little bit different. Brain Dead is fun for a while, but it's not a great one for me. But about Twin Peaks, I'm talking about the two first seasons. They were great. Thank you, Jerry Lamb. Thank you for your compliment. I need to, do this stuff so I don't blush. No, I don't blush. I'm too cool for that shit. I'm joking. Yeah, but I mean, I could look worse, I guess. Hey, working out and listening to some black metal helps, right? Rauta is asking, do you listen? do you intend to interview Goat Moon? No, Goat Moon interview was already agreed to do in around 2019. And then people kept me asking, like, every few months, when is that Goat Moon interview happening? When it's coming out? When are you doing it? And in 2021, I think, when I met Black Goat the last time, he said he doesn't want to do it. And I'm like, fuck it. We've already promised the audience for more than 2 years to do Goat Moon interview. And then he told me he's not ready to do a video interview. So, as far as I'm concerned, Goat Moon interview is not happening. But if he ever changes his mind, obviously I'm ready to do it. But it's up to him. Oh yeah, I get it. It's easy to miss a few streams due to work, school, and dating and all that stuff. I get it. No worries. Absolutely great to have you here. However, and I hope that we will meet Nordic Metal Cruise, my favorite black metal babe from Finland. Yeah, J Killers, I don't feel that old at all. I still feel like I'm 25 or whatever. Yeah, Gyrolamb, I know what you mean. There are people who are in their 40s who more like look like they're in their 60s. So I get it. There are lots of people. But look at the Archcode brothers, for instance. They are older than me and they look for something like they could be 40, you know? Even though they're like 53, whatever. So yeah. Lusica is out of beer. I'm sorry for that. But then again, it's already 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's not that bad. If you're out of beer, you can always go for bed. Yeah, J Killers, I think Black Goat is not too fan of doing interviews. There are lots of these artists who are not fan of doing interviews in the first place. Antti Tanhua is asking, am I gonna be at the Beyond the Gates next year? Well, nothing has been decided for Beyond the Gates 26, but I was just talking to my cameraman a few days ago about it, and it seems like we might be, because the lineup just got a little bit better than what it was a few weeks ago. So definitely worth thinking about it, because I like Bergen. Bergen is a great city, my favorite Scandinavian city. And also, I like Beyond the Gates as a festival. And now the lineup is better, so I'm definitely thinking about it. So, yeah, if you got your tickets, I hope... Have you already booked your flights, Antti Tanhua? If you haven't, I have some tips for you, and Tia might have some tips for you. And now, I'm ready soon to finish my beer and get ready for bed. So make your last questions, please. It's not like I'm tired, but I cannot stay up all day because I have to be somewhere tomorrow around 1 o'clock. And if I wake up in 8 hours, it's already 12 o'clock. So gotta do some nights and stuff. Was somebody interested in checking out, ordering some night side stuff? Rytkösen Jussi, were you interested? getting some nightside stuff? Alright, Antti Tanhua. My advice is get at least one extra day just for the city. When the festival takes like 4 days, don't do the mistake we did. I think we did the mistake for the first year, which means we didn't have any time to go for the mountains and fjords. I think Tia can back me up on this. So if you want to go for 4 days at the festival, make sure that you at least have one extra day, which you can dedicate on, going on the mountains or taking the fjords and whatever. Maybe even 2 extra days, but at least one. That will give you the time to recover from the festival, especially if you're taking the fifth day after the festival, which we've been doing for the past couple of years. And then you have the time to explore the surroundings, like seeing Fantoft Church, the mountains, the Lyskloserie monastery ruins where the immortal music video was done. It's a beautiful place. Something that you can see in my second talk interview as well as old funeral interview. So at least one extra day is recommended by yours truly. Well, Markus, you can of course just order all the nightside stuff. We have them. I don't know how the labels have them, but we have vinyl for both albums. We have tapes for 97 demo and the Lions demo tape. We have CDs for both albums, and we have shirts. So there are plenty of that stuff. We just don't advertise it too much because we bring our stuff to the, to the gigs like NMC and all that stuff. And Randomness was asking what's my best game ever. I would say it's World of Warcraft because of the social aspects, but also because the single player content is fantastic. The leveling up the character, seeing the world, going with the lore, doing the missions, the quests, everything is really enjoyable. There's good PvP in World of Warcraft. The raiding with other people, that's superior. Something that no single player content can do. So I definitely would say World of Warcraft is the best video game ever for me. Thank you, Lucica, for your comments about doing what I do. Yeah, thank you for saying Rauta is awesome. And I'm in a local whiskey bar every now and then. So if you see me right there, just come to say hello. That sounds like a great plan on Titanhua. If you can have 2 extra days in Bergen, that's perfect. 2 days is definitely more than enough to see the surrounding areas. I mean, of course, you can explore even further, but within 2 days, you can just see the mountain tops and get a little bit fjords and whatever. So definitely. And 2 days in Oslo is, I think, enough because Oslo is not that big of a city. So sounds like a good trip if you can have like 4 days for the festival, 2 extra days in Bergen and 2 extra days in Oslo. Sounds solid plan for me. Yeah, I agree with Tia about those, early flights and all that stuff. So usually, at least one day after the festival is a good idea because usually the fests end with a bigger after party kind of a thing. All right, Freedom Frog, thanks you being from me with the stream. Hopefully see you soon again and most likely doing another gaming stream tomorrow. Gee, Randomness, was nice to have you here. Off you go. Bye-bye. All right, final questions, and then I will be going. It's already past the time I'm supposed to be in the bed. And I agree with the you can take the train from Oslo to Bergen to enjoy the views. I've been doing the trip with a car. It's a little bit different. Then you can see the places you cannot see with the train. But then again, if you also take a car instead of train, you will miss some views. So either way is good. So definitely worth checking out. And I should be doing another preview for Beyond the Gates 26 later on uh, next year, as well as talking about Inferno 2026 coming next year. This is a little bit early, but I guess I need to mark them on my calendar. Now I wish you everybody good night, and thanks for being part of the stream, and maybe catch you later with the gaming streams. Like said before, you don't have to be gamer to join Rauta's gaming streams, because they will be anyway more than just gaming streams. Always questions, answers, and all that stuff. Now I will be heading to bed. I need to wake up in about 8 hours to meet a friend. So all that stuff. And to answer Marco's question, probably the best band with the goat in the name is most likely Archgoat. But that's just me. Now, good night, people, and stay tuned for more streams coming away. The next stream on Rauta, I will have to check out the calendar. Give me a second. Yeah, most likely the next January stream is taking place on the very first weekend of January, meaning January 3rd. That is the first Saturday. So unless I'm doing a trip, then that's when we are doing the stream. So catch you later, guys, and the gaming streams will be happening meanwhile. Now, good night, people, and off we go. Stay metal, stay honest.